I'm not entirely sure what I just signed myself up for, but there's a whole lot of nervousness, excitement, and a little bit of anxiety. What I'm talking about is this. The official Japan exclusive do-it-yourself-ish Disney Dollhouse. Now, just to make it very simple and clear, this is not made or produced by the Walt Disney Company, but it is a completely legit licensed Disney product just based and established in Japan. This is released by a company called Hachette Collections Japan, and they are famously known in Japan for miniatures, and therefore it makes sense that they're going to release something like a Disney Dollhouse. In this video, I'm going to be introducing and explaining what this is going to be all about, as well as answer some questions about the logistics related to this. So it is a Disney Dollhouse. It is a weekly subscription DIY project. Simply put, this DIY project involves issues that are going to be released on a weekly basis, which involves parts that you are going to assemble to create a very grand Disney Dollhouse. There are two ways to purchase these issues. Both of them require you to be in Japan. The first option is a bookstore. These issues are available at all participating bookstores across the country, but what each bookstore will have in stock will vary because there are differences in shipping and warehouse schedules. The second way to get it, and it is also how I am currently acquiring them, is by signing up for a subscription. You can sign up online, and of course a valid Japanese address is necessary in order for the issues to be delivered to you, which means this is not available for purchase or for delivery outside of Japan. It is solely based in Japan. As I mentioned before, a valid Japanese address is required, and that's why they only ship domestically. And whether or not you can use a forwarding service for this, I can't be too sure about that because I've personally never experienced it, so I'm not the right person to give that kind of information. In terms of when delivery happens for a subscription, the first 9 issues were initially delivered on a weekly basis, followed by a bi-weekly basis. And then from issue number 10, it was bundled as a set of 4 issues and delivered once a month. Payment for this subscription pretty much works on a monthly basis. If you used a credit card, you will get charged monthly, or they will send you a bill which you will have to pay by a certain time of the month. It is possible to cancel your subscription anytime. I don't think there is a cancellation fee, although you will have to pay for any issues that have already been shipped out to you. So how long will this project take? Well, according to the website, it's scheduled to be 120 issues. And if one issue is released a week, that means it will take between 2 to 2.5 years to complete. And of course, as is the case with these sorts of things, the number of issues as well as the time it could take to complete this project might change in the near future. As far as I know, refunds are not possible, but returns are accepted with certain conditions. Returns are only accepted if you did not get the item that you were supposed to get, which is an underlying way of saying unless there are broken or missing pieces, they will not be accepting returns for discoloration or defects. At which point you would have to contact the company within a week from when you get your issue, and then you'll have to wait for your replacement. So now I'm going to weigh the pros and cons of being subscribed to this project. Let's go through the demerits first, and we're going to link back to the previous point of what happens if you have to return the issue for a replacement. Well, this is obviously a delay, and this can be a hindrance to your progress because you're going to be waiting for the replacement to arrive. And if you're waiting for a key part to be replaced, and that key part is necessary for you to assemble before you can proceed to the next step, well, that's obviously going to put a damper on the flow of your work. Probably the biggest demerit to date has been the inconsistent delivery times. While the main company is based in Japan, the manufacturing is all based in China. And because factories and warehouses and shipping companies run at different times, that means there's different schedules of deliveries happening across the country. Some places will get it faster than others, like Tokyo and Osaka will get it before Hokkaido and Okinawa because they're off the mainland. And even within big cities, certain areas will get it first before other places like suburbs. And honestly, the most frustrating point about it is there is no clear date or time as to when your issues or your package will be arriving. There's no email, there's no announcement, there's no contact whatsoever regarding the delivery date and time of your package, which I think is really lazy on their part because, I did sign up with my email inputted in the system, so there is no reason for them not to tell their customers when their packages will be coming or even give an estimation, but there's just nothing on that front And this is according to one of their service centers, but they mentioned that because of the different schedules that the warehouses and the factories are running, it's really not clear as to when the packages will be delivered or when people will be getting them. There's just so many unknown variables involved that makes it very difficult to pin down the precise time and the date of delivery. This DIY project, or this subscription service, was announced very early this year in January, February-ish, around that time, and there has been major shipping delays in the first 3 months of releases because of unexpected popularity. They were not expecting or prepared to handle the number of subscribers that they would be getting, and I'm kind of surprised about that because Disney is huge in Japan. There are so many people who love Disney, who are crazy about Disney, so of course they would jump at the fact that they can build their own Disney dollhouse. And then there was a point in time where a lot more people were staying indoors, they were staying home, so they were obviously looking for a hobby to keep them preoccupied, and this dollhouse essentially came at a perfect time for that. And so that further increased the subscription count. There was just very low supply and high demand, so lots of shipping delays. They had stated on their website that it will take between 1 to 2 weeks for your issue to come once you sign up. I did not see my first issue until a month and a half after I signed up. So those are the demerits. Let's get into the merits. So the pros about having a subscription service. You are guaranteed to get every single issue delivered to your doorstep. If you are purchasing an issue from the bookstore, you don't have any extra fees tacked on to the retail price. Each issue has the same price whether you buy it at the bookstore or get it through the subscription service. Shipping is included for the monthly subscription. Having the issues delivered to you means you don't have to go out to the bookstore on a weekly basis to get your hands on that new issue, and you don't have to risk missing out on whatever issue is being released, because there have been cases due to rising popularity of having certain issues being sold out for weeks on weeks. So this subscription is meant to save you time, travel expenses, and energy. You get special bonuses for signing up for a subscription. You get like little gifts or presents and extra pieces that you can add to your dollhouse, which I will be revealing in the series of videos that are to come on this channel, which is a segue of the main point of this video. I will be doing a brand new series on my channel, and it will be revolving around the assembly of this amazing Disney dollhouse. Alright, and now it's time to do a flip through of an issue of the DIY Disney dollhouse. I really did what I could to try and fit the box within the frame, but as you can see here, the box is a little long and it's a little shorter than the length of an A4 or letter-sized paper. So please bear with me. I'll do what I can to show you what the entirety of its pages look like. There's just a lot of information here and all of it is in Japanese. So I'm not going to go into great detail of all the content. I'll just give you a general overview of what you can find within a particular issue of the Disney Dollhouse. Each issue, like a magazine, will contain a structure or a format of the kind of content that they're going to deliver. The one key difference between a subscription issue of this particular Disney Dollhouse project and a magazine subscription issue is the fact that it comes with parts that you're going to have to assemble for your Disney Dollhouse. So let's start with the first page here. This is the first issue, and the date of release of each issue is shown here at the top left corner in a very circular emblem. It has the date listed under the issue number. This stands for weekly subscription, so this is a weekly release. And in the golden circle over here is the listed retail price of this first issue. It is actually a special price and only a one-time price because this is like the starting issue to the entire series. Including tax, it came out to 299 yen, and you're probably thinking, that's amazing. Don't be fooled, it is only this first issue that is at the cost of 299 yen. All subsequent issues cost 1,599 yen. That's how they get ya. Over here at the top simply mentions that it has been seen on TV, and here in beautiful golden calligraphy in Japanese, or the katakana words, says Disney Dollhouse. With every issue you get an overview of what the entire dollhouse looks like in its completion. Actually, there's another floor that is not depicted here, so you will be able to see that in greater detail later inside this issue. And now let's go through the first 2 pages. We open it up and you can see an overview of the bonus or the presents that you get for signing up a subscription. The first bonus gift being extra decor for each of the rooms in your dollhouse, as well as a cutting mat. And the second bonus gift are figures of Minnie and Daisy. And over here in the yellow circle simply means that these are original limited designs. And furthermore, if you want more characters or more figures to add to your dollhouse, there is an option to become a premium member for an additional 150 yen, which you have to pay tacked on to the 4th issue and onwards. At issue number 60, you will get 5 extra figures, and at the last issue, you will get the other 5, for a total of 10 extra character figures. So these are very exclusive and only limited to those who have signed up for the premium subscription. I did not sign up for the premium subscription, so I will not be getting any of these characters, which I'm totally fine with, honestly, because the only character I really want is Beast, but I'm going to try and see if there's going to be third-party sellers for him. Right, moving on again, person for scale, but over here it shows you the exact size of the dollhouse. It measures at a height of 800 millimeters or 80 centimeters and a width of 750 millimeters or 75 centimeters. Next page over here shows you the overview of the rooms and a general idea of the awesomeness that is a Disney dollhouse. And we're going to go through each of the rooms in greater detail later. But first, let's follow up on the 3 points here. I'm just going to briefly translate it from Japanese. So the first point over here says that each room has a particular theme or is dedicated to a certain character. The second point over here mentions the scale, and we just went through that. It also says that there are a total of 9 rooms plus a basement, and that scale is meant to be able to display all of the rooms to be viewed easily and all at once. Point number 3 over here says that it's so easy that anyone can build it. So they're essentially claiming that they have made the assembly, the parts, and the guides so simple that anyone can understand. It actually even mentions over here that even beginners or people who have never done assembly or DIY projects before will be able to do this. Okay, let's go through the next pages. Here is where we can see in more detail the themes of each room. So we'll start from left to right. From the top, which is the attic, you will have the children's room, and this is based on the movie Peter Pan. And under here, they give you a brief description of what kind of theme or motifs the room will have, and they will give you a preview of some of the decors or the furnishings that are going to be in the room. This is, for example, Michael's bear and a doll, and this is a picture of what the finished room will look like. The bathroom is a Little Mermaid themed, so a lot of the furnishings and the decor will have motifs or elements that have shells in them. The sunroom, I'm so excited for this one, is Donald Duck based. So there's a lot of marine themed elements to it, and obviously there's a white and blue color palette happening here. And you'll also find some elements that nod to Donald, like his bow tie and his hat, in some of the decor or the small furnishings. The living room is Mickey Mouse themed. So there's going to be a lot of colors or elements that nod to either Mickey or Minnie. There's also going to be some elements that relate to Steamboat Willie and Pluto, apparently. The entrance or the entryway is themed to Frozen. A lot of the decor and the furniture will come in these 2 colors of purples and like light grayish blue, and that's supposed to be resembling either the colors of Anna or the colors of Elsa. Apparently there's going to be a chandelier that can light up as well. Mickey's room also apparently has a light fixture which you can turn on and off. To have an interactive light, that's pretty amazing. And let's go over to the other page, starting with the performance room or the music room. And it is themed to the Aristocats. Marie is especially popular in Japan because she's a kitty and she's a girl. And she's very kawaii. So I'm not particularly surprised that they dedicated a room to her, especially a music room. So in this room, there's going to be a piano as well as some play toys for cats. Down here is Cindy's room, and she is the bedroom. And here is a key item that's going to be featured in that room, the ever-famous glass slipper. This one I'm probably just as excited about as Donald's sunroom is the study room themed to Beauty and the Beast. You will find furnishings in the image of Lumiere, Cogsworth, and Mrs. Potts, as well as obviously bookcases and anything related to the libraries that Belle loves so much. The dining room or the kitchen, I have to admit, is incredible. Just look at all the small, fine details of all the things that are to be set up on the table. And these are all individual pieces. They're not like a set put together and just you put on top of a table. So it's themed to Alice in Wonderland, and you can also find themes dedicated to the Mad Hatter, the White Rabbit, like Tweedledee and Tweedledum, basically a whole bunch of characters from the movie. Even though I'm not a fan of Alice in Wonderland, but I'm also very excited about this because the aesthetics are beautiful. And finally, the last room of the dollhouse is a basement. Yes, believe it or not, this dollhouse has a basement. And you can see that this is how it looks. You slide it out of the bottom panel and it shows you a room dedicated to the 100 Acre Woods, or Winnie the Pooh and Friends. And this is the Disney Dollhouse. Once again, here in the attic is the Peter Pan Children's Room, the Donald Sun Room, the Beauty and the Beast Study Room, the Cinderella Bedroom, the Aristocats Music Room, the Little Mermaid Bathroom, the Mickey Living Room, the Frozen Entry, the Alice in Wonderland Dining Room and Kitchen, and finally the Winnie the Pooh basement. So let's close that up and continue onwards. This page tells you the general overview of what each issue will contain. So the first thing you can find is the assembly guide to whatever furniture or furnishing that they want you to assemble for the given issue, and they will have it listed out in step-by-step fashion. And if you are a more visual learner, and this is something I really appreciate about this company, is that they also have uploaded it in video form, which you can access here by checking out this QR code. Next up, they have dedicated pages about the life or the works of Walt Disney. As I mentioned before, there's going to be a featurette of a particular Disney movie depending on whatever character or theme that they decide to dedicate the issue to. And so what you'll find here is the history or the behind the scenes or the making of a Disney movie. Following that, there's also going to be a poster that you can essentially collect from every issue. And these posters are to reflect or celebrate the 80+ years of Disney movies. And finally, we have a dollhouse recipe. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but it seems like they're going to talk about the history of dollhouses. This right here in the corner mentions that there is a special set of binders. You will get 2, and each binder is set to hold 15 issues. And each one can be purchased at the price of 900 yen plus tax, but I believe subscribers will get this for free. Next page. Here is a preview of the following issues. So issue number 2 will have a Mickey figure as well as the making of his door and some tools. And issue number 3 will have some decor and furnishings from the Winnie the Pooh room. And from this page onwards are the exclusive or featured information about this particular issue. So you'll have the assembly guide, some information about the magical world of Disney, and miniatures. And the movie that's featured in this issue is Bambi. You can see an index of contents right here. Here is the assembly guide. So you can see that it's listed by picture. It's very, very clear and very visual, easy to follow. Continues onward. In a few pages, you will actually see me put together these doors in the first assembly video. And here we have an article that talks about Walt's beloved world of miniatures. So they give you a history of the kind of like miniature models that he has throughout his life. Here is the featured movie pages. We have here some like historical data about that movie, some behind the scenes pictures, some art concepts, some storyboard designs. Here is that collectible poster. This particular issue features Steamboat Willie, which is appropriate because this is one of the first big named works that made Walt Disney pretty famous, and it's on the first issue of this subscription, so makes sense. And the next few pages are more like advertisements or promotions to get you to sign up for the subscription. And a preview of the next issue. We saw that a little bit earlier, but here they go into greater detail with more pictures. So you will get these additional tools, and these are what some of the assembly parts will look like and what it looks like when finished. And the last page shows you what comes with this issue. So this issue has the armchair, which is from the Mickey themed living room, and what you will be assembling. So you'll be assembling the front doors for the first issue. So these are all the parts that come in the box, and this is the finished look. This is what they look like. And this is what the next video will be all about. You will see me assembling and putting together the front doors to this very grand Disney dollhouse. So be sure to check it out. I hope you'll join me in what's sure to be a very long but very exciting journey. And if you have any other questions about this, feel free to comment below and I'll try to answer it to the best of my ability. Let's build some magic together.